Alright everyone, welcome back. In this episode here I will be spray painting the frame, the wall frame of my trailer. And anybody who's returning, thanks for coming back. Anybody new, this is all uncut, unedited, raw footage, typically in first person view. Because of that my videos are long, so feel free to skip through. Since this is my trailer episode, I'll probably have a playlist because I have more than one episode. I think we have up to 10. This will be the 11th episode. So today I'm going to be wiping down. I already sanded from the last episode. I sanded a lot of the frame here, getting most of the rust and any other debris off. But here's the shop towels here. And if you notice, if I just take this and I wipe it, it's dirty. So you can see right there on that side, I've been just wiping it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe and get any dirt off. I've already, blasted it with some air, and so get any other debris. I'm going to use the paint thinner here to also wipe it off, get rid of any oil. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and then eventually I'll get to prime this part, and then that's basically what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this trailer here. Is I'll be taking it off. As I'm taking it off, I'll prime it, and then when I put it back on, I'll be painting it. And so, yeah, that just gives you a better view of it. So anyways, so it's going to be quite a process, but it's got to be done, because if I leave it like this, it's just going to rust away. So I'll cut out, and I'll cut in. Thanks. Alright everyone, I'm cutting back in here, and so far I've got the frame very well cleaned off as much as I could. You can see the towel right there, really dirty. Well, not that bad, but still dirty, so wipe it off. It's good to have anyways, it's good to wear some gloves, if you're going to be doing something like this. And so now after this, I'm gonna go ahead and prime it up. So I already sanded this with the aluminum oxide sanding sponge, so it should be ready to go. It's really hot, warm day. I don't know if I should do this out in the sun, but considering don't have a lot of room in the garage now, it's probably better to do this outside anyway. So anyways, we'll see how it goes, and so I'll go ahead and cut out right now, and take it from there. Okay everyone, welcome back. Cutting in here and finally getting the primer ready. So this is it right here. I only poured a little bit because I know I'm not going to need a lot, and so I kind of made it the consistency of almost like water. The oil-based primer here seems almost thin anyway, so of course you want to make sure that it works with a spray gun. So it's almost like a consistency of water. That way you get a nice little spray mist here. And there it is. I already poured some in, and you notice how clean it is. This is leftover thinner, and then what I use to basically, there you go. So you see there, that's the primer in there. I wiped off with this. So I poured it in, and then I cleaned it off. Try to always keep it clean. I know I'm going to be reusing this. I'm just doing it in small portions here, because I know this is going to last a long time, and just using my leftover thinner. And by the way, if you let this settle, the paint will settle down, and the thinner, it's still good. You can reuse this thinner almost as many times as you want. So there's a proper way to dispose thinner, and so But what you really want to do is try to reuse the thinner as many times as you can. Thinner's still good even though you've done it like this. You just leave it in an empty container, like just an empty paint container, and you'll let the paint settle down, and on basically the thinner will float on top, and you could skim that off and reuse it as thinner. Maybe not for new painting, but definitely for washing or cleaning up and stuff like that. So you could definitely do those kind of things. And here's shop towel. Just use those whenever you can, and get set up. Get set up before you start doing all this, and then you have to stop. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out. I got this here ready. I've kind of cleaned it, and it did get a little rusty inside because I've been using latex, which is a water-based paint. So, but still working, still works, and so I'll start using this. All this has been prepped, been wiped down, cleaned as much as I can with the rag, and again thinner. So let me cut out, and I'll cut back in. All right. Let's see, focus. All right, bye. All right, here I am. Use a paint strainer to get any debris out of there. You never know what's in there, and also it's a good way for you to see how the paint flows through the screen, to see if it's too thick or thin. As you can see, there's some debris in there from somewhere, I'm not sure. Anyway, I cleaned it up. Always try to rinse out the strainer. You can probably reuse it a couple times. Again, in the thinner. Also clean this out, which I was mixing it in. That way I can reuse that as well. So just try to keep it clean. That way it's just a little bit way easier for you to handle. So it's just not full. So I'm just gonna test it out. This is my first batch. If it works out good, of course I can always make more. And you don't wanna get a right amount of paint to begin with. So don't overbuy anything. You can always go back to the store and get some more if you have to. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start spray painting, and then I'll keep you all posted as I progress through this. Bye now. Alright everyone, I'm back. Got my regulator set at 50. I can adjust it from here now, and it's attached and ready to go. I got my dust mask on, so I'm going to go ahead and start painting the larger frame first. We'll see how it goes and check it out. Alright, I'll cut in later on this. Alright everyone, so far this is what I've gotten done. Not too bad. Didn't take that long. Of course, this is the one, this primer you can sand down, so I'm not too worried about the little fuzz like this coming out of it. As far as how much it was used, it's almost out, so I probably have to refill it. So that gives me a good idea of how fast this goes through everything. This is my little setup here that holds it. The swivel hose is awesome on this. It really helped me get into some areas without the hose touching the piece here. Regulator is also helpful. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm very happy with it so far. Just try to get the welded spots really good. I'm gonna let it dry here a little, but looks like it's sticking, and it'll probably dry really fast because it is warm. We're outside, and spray painting just dries really fast anyway. So anyways, I have to flip it over and do the other spots, so I'll keep you updated on that. Alright everyone, I'm back here and gonna dry it up pretty quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Got these all set up as well, so go ahead and just knock them out real quick. And I filled it up as much as I could because I have a better idea of how much it's going to take. You don't want to fill it up 100%. Since it's at an angle, it's really pretty much halfway. I think that'll do it. Again, use a strainer. Can't stress that enough. And while you're doing this, keep it clean. I've been reusing this, pouring it in here, pouring it back in there, rinsing out the filter, rinsing out the lid. And while you're doing that, it just keeps it cleaner. And guess what? When you're all done, it'll just make it so much easier to clean out your gun. So I'm going to go ahead and start spraying all this side, and hopefully I'll finish priming all this, and I'll be done, at least on the priming side. And then I can go on to the other side here where I can get that done. And then when I reassemble this, I'll be painting it and then putting it back on. So this is going to be fun. So alright, I'll cut in next time. Alright everyone, here's how everything looks. Everything is primed on this section here. So it dries pretty quick. I might just only put one application. I don't think I need to put on that many coats of primer. So let's take a look on this end. See how this one looks. Yeah, it's looking really good. Just sand it down, knock off any of the rough edges here, and it'll be ready to go. As you can see, it still shows through. This is a permanent marker that I used, but that's alright. The black should cover it. But yeah, everything's looking good. I really wanted to get this part primed where the weld is. I know that's going to be rusting the quickest probably. Just try to get everywhere I could, if I could get in there, best I can anyway. So we'll see how it goes. Even try to get the edges here. So yeah, everything looks good. And if you just keep everything clean while you do it, it goes by so much quicker. This working with thinner really cleans it up really good versus latex. So this, all the paint comes off. This looks cleaner actually. I dipped it in thinner. Probably need to get around that corner right here, but that's all right. And then I just have everything else kind of soaking in there. And the old thinner, I poured in here one more time to wash it out, and then put it into the empty container. And if you let that settle, the paint will fall down and the thinner will rise up, and you can probably use that thinner over and over and over and over again theoretically. I mean, this stuff never really goes bad, and disposing of it is you know, hard to do, and sometimes you have to pay depending where you are. It's just so much easier to reuse this thinner. Once you buy it, you can most likely almost infinitely use this thinner over and over again. After you skim off the good part, the bad part, you can actually open the cap of this, let it dry out, and then throw it away in the trash. And that's probably the best thing you can do on a household level. Also, another thing you might want to do is after you get rid of the thinner, pour the thinner into a newer bottle, or maybe a secondary bottle or something like that, recycled thinner bottle. It'll still be wet, so another thing you can do is you can put your sawdust in here. Let the sawdust absorb the rest of the thinner, leave it open, and you could, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter, you could burn it. If you have a outdoor fireplace or something, and it makes a great fire starter. So these are some things I've heard. I haven't done, but you know, it's better than tossing it in your yard or down the drain. You could try to take it someplace, but really best thing to do is, instead of taking it someplace and then buying more thinner for your paint jobs, is just keep reusing the thinner, because this thing can last forever. It's just literally just after a while this paint will separate. So yeah, the gun's clean. These come in handy, the rags. See, I rinsed this out. You can actually see through So this could be used one more time. After I finish a job, I usually just throw it away because, you know, it's just been used. But it's still good enough where I can use it a couple more times. You don't have to throw this away. And let me see how much primer I have left. I think I used half of it on this job alone. About a third. I would say about a third of it. So not too bad. That's just one coat. So, and again, I rinse this in the thinner, and look, it's practically brand new. I can just keep reusing this. So anyways, quick update on that. There you go.